So guys, let's get back to our cheese making. So this is part 2. So you see I have a pot of water here coming to a boil, and I have my mason jars here. I like these adjustable jars here. So if you don't have one of those, this is fine. I'll show you what you can do. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this to sterilize, because you need your jars that you're going to be doing your culture in. You want it super clean. Cleanliness is of super importance. You do not want any of the bad guys. You are trying to create a good culture, not a bad culture for your cheese making. So I'm going to bring this to a boil, and then I'm going to show you what I do next. Sterilize. Please sterilize your bottles. So this has been boiling for about 5 minutes. The water is boiling, and now this is sterilized. So I'm going to turn my stove off, and I show you what I do. I take a tongue like this, and I drain it out like this, and I put it on a clean paper towel, and the covers as well. You have to sterilize everything, because you don't want bad things growing in your quinoa or your spelt grains. And then this would air dry very quickly because it's hot. It's super hot. So once this is dried, I'm going to show you the next step. So guys, here we have our clean, super clean, sterilized bottle. I placed it on top of a clean paper towel here in this dish. Now I'm going to put it up, and I have my quinoa here. I'm using the white quinoa. So you're going to do a half a cup of quinoa into this bottle, and then you fill this up with water. You can fill it up to here. It doesn't matter how much water you put into it, and you're going to leave this overnight. So I want to show you everything that I do. So I'm going to go to my kitchen sink now and fill this up and show you what I do. So we're gonna fill this up with water here, the half a cup of in cold water, no specific amount of water. So you fill it up with water, and you cover this with some cheesecloth, and you can put a rubber band around it. I put a rubber band around it because you do not cover this with the cover like this. You need air to circulate. So you put this, I'm using tap water. But after this is rinsed out, and I'm putting it to for the next 2 days to get my Rejuvelac, I would use spring water. But this is okay, because this, you're going to be pouring out this water after you do this overnight or 24 hours. So this I had here sitting overnight. So I'm going to pour this water out. So you can use, just so that the grains don't come out, you pour out the water like this. You pour out the water like this, and what you do is, quinoa has this bitterness to it because of the saponins. So you rinse this out some more. You rinse this out to get rid of some of the bitterness. And then you do not fill this back up with water. You put this in a dark cupboard, in your kitchen cupboard, for another day or 2, so that it would sprout. So you would see this now starts to sprout. I mean, we all know that when we were eating kidney beans, for instance, if you left it to soak for too long, you would see that it started to sprout because of the dampness. So this would start to sprout. So then once this starts sprouting in a day or a day and a half or 2, then you fill it up with water, spring water, because then this would be your Rejuvelac. So let me show you now what this looks like with my Rejuvelac. So let's go over this. Okay, so this is what I just had at the sink. I was just showing you this at the sink that was sprouting, not sprouting, sorry. This was sitting overnight. This was sitting overnight. I rinsed it out, and now there is no water in here. This goes into a dark cupboard to sprout for about a day or two. It usually sprouts, quinoa sprouts faster, like a day and a half. This is going to sprout. And then after it sprouts, you add water to it again. No specific amount of water. You could add water up to here. This is half a cup though. We need the half a cup to get that, the tanginess. So we don't add any water to this to sprout. Just remember, you're not adding any water to this. And you put it in a dark cupboard, and it's going to sprout in about a day and a half, no more than 2 days. The quinoa sprouts much faster. So now I wanted to show you, after you add water to this, after a day or two, when this sprouts, you rinse it out again. You add water up to about here. There's no specific amount of water, just a half a cup of quinoa. You add water and you put this for another 2 to 3 days, no more than 3 days. This has been sitting for 3 days, and now this here is my Rejuvelac. This right here is my Rejuvelac. You can see the color of it. Now, if you don't have cheesecloth, I'm thinking that maybe you can use a clean paper towel and you put a rubber band around it. I think the paper towel would work as well if you don't have cheesecloth. I hope that you got all of your equipment and your ingredients to do this. This is Rejuvelac that I've had in my refrigerator for some days. This could go for a day or 2 days, 3 weeks. I use this a lot in cooking. So I have had this in my refrigerator for as long as 2 weeks. So I don't think you should leave it for more than 2 weeks. I don't, because I use it. I even drink this because this is actually a probiotic. And this is good to drink just like this. It's very acidic. This is what is going to give your cheese that tanginess, that cheesy flavor. Okay, so I hope you do this, and the next time when I come back, because I don't want to prolong this, I know you guys have been asking about the cheese, but I had to do all of my little, you see, all of these different things you have to do, and it takes time because I want to show you the different steps, you see? So I hope you do this, and if you have any questions, please, comment and I'll answer your questions, because I know this might be a little bit confusing for first timers. But please, if you have any questions, just ask and I'll absolutely be happy to help you, because I really want you to do this cheese so that you can put it on your pizza. You could do grilled cheese, etc., etc. So I'll see you in part 3.